seen two shows at this show, and then the where the king and queen.
Lived here. And then I got a question earlier about the scribbles under the crowns, which you can see here and there, and usually the scribbles are different monograms, and this is the most famous one. If you look closely, you can see it spells out 4 letters. So you have an H in comprising the whole scribble, and then you have an E to the right, an R to the left, and an S in the middle. Hedvig Eleonora Regina Svezia. So Hedvig Eleonora, Queen of Sweden. And is today, so you would sit here and then you could state your business with what you do right here. And today this room is called the Ehrenstrahl Salon, after one of the painters who worked. The corruption was standard for Sweden. In Northern Europe, this is one you must see, because nothing has really happened here since the Queen died in 1716. And then come into a room which is completely fresh, smelling of cypress. That's quite a treat. Right, and then we will move on from the 1600s into something completely different. Liberty in Sweden ruled Sweden instead of the royalties. So Lovisa Rika and her husband, they were quite powerless during this time period. Deciding how should we present a government? How should the United States be ruled? You know the story. And then, you have the fathers of the nation, and you have George Washington, etc. But before that, several voices were raised that maybe we should get a king. A real king from a noble family from Europe, then the European nations will respect us more. And then many votes were laid on Henry of Prussia. He could be the first king of the United States. I mean, George Washington is nice also, but I don't know if you have any other engagements today. You would go to the theater, of course. That story. But now it's time to move upwards. Now we are in the staircase, and the staircase was the most prolific part of the palace. Let's see the part, shall we? Myself once again. And we'll continue on this way. And read to each other. So come here, read, play music, cite poetry, late into the evenings, and Gustav III, he liked to play games. So the table we see over here, that's for playing chess or card games. And usually you couldn't, as today, you can't leave before the king. When the king leaves, then it's okay to leave yourself. And Gustav III, he stayed until he started losing. So sometimes they could go on to 3 o'clock in the morning. Use those little buildings in there because they produce silk. Which we have here. So Hedvig Eleonora created 2 large galleries for her husband and her son and their warring exploits. So the wars against Denmark and Poland, we have portrayed down below, and the war against Denmark, again, are portrayed here. And as I mentioned, Sweden and Denmark haven't always gotten along very well. We have fought over the same region and the same resources. Today, the bridge between Denmark and Sweden really symbolizes a time of peace, even though we make fun of each other every chance we get. But here you can see that the paintings made by Philip Nelke during the 1600s portray the Battle of Skåne, the most southern tip of Sweden, which Hedvig Eleanor's husband had conquered from the Danes. And when her husband to be finished, the artists that work here at the palace became old and started to die out. So Johan Silvius has made the top half of the ceiling painting, and when he died, his successor, his apprentice, took over and made the lower half.
Go to American Fast Food, it's like TGIF or Longhorn.
That's not the same.
Oh, of course not, but you know, it's probably what you're gonna get.
It's not very deep. It looks deeper than it is, but so it's only, I think, about 36 feet deep. So it's only a little bit deeper than our stage in Washington and Wade. Yes, this is a full-size theater for the time.
Do you know what that is? Tournaments? Jousting. Jousting.
Varmt välkomna till Kulturhusets stadsteater och kvällens föreställning av Chorusline, den stora scen, som börjar om 15 minuter. Kommer snart att kunna börja.